pragmatic. I'm just an addict for your love, I gotta have it. My problems disappear when love's connected. I never wanna take back an hour, minute, or second. What a blessing. Love ain't proud, it ain't rude. Love, it rejoices in telling the truth. Love is so patient, kind, it doesn't envy. Love your friends, love your enemies. I hope this love sink in. Got love for my neighbor, agape phileo. Let me be more convincing. Maybe you can dive in and exegete or censor, dissect the scripture where Bishop we show love. Or if you a sinner, transgender like Bruce Jenner, well, Caitlyn, we show more love. We use basic math, don't subtract, divide it. God can take one love, then add or multiply it. Don't wanna swear by it. I promise if you don't have love, your life will be full of the opposite. And that's a big mistake. You trying to demonstrate all love in sync like Justin Timberlake. And that's a big mistake. You trying to demonstrate all love in sync like Justin Timberlake. If it cost $1 million, or if it was free, I love you, you love me. Let's put love together, call it love scene, love scene, love scene, love scene.
Hey, we're back for the third time on a Saturday. This is, again, Brother Don McGriff coming at you again with another episode of Love Sync Ministries, Love Sessions. And you know our foundational scripture is, he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. That's coming out of 1 John 4:8. Again, he that loveth not, so if you don't show love, then you don't know God. Why? Because God is love. Remember that. Meditate on that. Get that in your spirit. Then go to 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter 4-8, and get that love walk in you and walk that from here on out. It will make your life easier and stress-free if you believe it or not. Make sure you do that. All right. Our next guest is coming up. He had to get the link all over again. Maybe that's him texting me now saying it ain't working. Okay, I just sent it to you, my brother. All right, let me try it again. So I'm going to send him the link again. But while I'm sending him the link, and you guys that's watching me, also remember to, on Facebook, remember to hit the little like buttons, hit the little love hearts. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share. Make sure you do all that good stuff. So then that way, you know, we can try to monetize Facebook. And then on the YouTube side, all the shows from today won't download into YouTube until tomorrow. I think you can watch it live, but the download itself won't be until tomorrow. And then so I'd like you to go over there and comment, share the video. And also on that side of everything, I need you to go ahead and basically watch all the videos over there. The love sessions, the love talk with me and the wife. There's some good stuff to go on there. Like I said, we believe in transparency. Anything that has to do with Love Sync Ministries, whether it's love talk, love sessions, love notes, love whatever it is, we believe in transparency. So even on love talk with me and the wife, there's been some times that, hey, we wasn't walking in love with each other, and we showed it on air. And but I want you to check some of those out, see how we dealt with it, because just because you're married don't mean you're not going to have disagreements and arguments, but you can still do everything in love regardless. So go check some of those love talk episodes out with me and the wife, and like I said, along with the love sessions. And make sure you subscribe. And when you do subscribe, make sure you put it on public. If you want a chance on winning money, you have to put it on public so I can see who you are. So then that way I can, you know, send you the money if you win it. Oh, let me tell him I just sent him the link again. So we'll get him there. All right. So he's trying to log on, but y'all make sure y'all do that, because here's the deal. I was just doing Facebook, but I decided to do YouTube. Once they say how you can monetize this thing, and I'm saying, you know, like I said, you know, this is what this age has come up with, and this is a way to make money, believe me, I'm not mad at all. You got to make your money the way you make your money. The thing, I'm ministry oriented, so I'm in service to God's people. So my thing is, I'm seeing these people do these YouTube pages and stuff, and they're making all this money. And so in turn, what they do, because they're young, they haven't lived life yet, but they're buying each other expensive gifts, Rolex. All about my husband, his favorite, or no, they don't say husband. I bought Bay his favorite car, and comes up with a Lamborghini or something, or I bought Bay her favorite car, and then they push this up. And so, but what I want to do here is to make sure that the money that we monetize on Facebook and YouTube, that you get that money. We want you to have that money. So that's why we want you to help us monetize this thing, so we can start giving away money to you guys. So that's why I want you to be subscribers. Do it on public so I can see your name when we can start doing this. All right. Well, he finally got in on it. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you put your hands together for a long time, friends. We go way back like bell peppers. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my friend, Mr. Lester Sojourner Newsom.
You go.
What's going on?
How you doing, my brother? Man, I'm hanging in here, taking it one day at a time, my man. That's all I can do.
All right, that's all you can do, huh? Hey, because you ain't
Hey.
promised tomorrow, so that's all you can do is live life to the fullest in the day and time that you have.
True, because we are not promised tomorrow, my brother.
Right. So yeah, man. So let me do what I normally do, and that means I got to start off the 5 questions with you, so we can get this thing started, get your juices flowing, get you used to answering some questions and stuff real quick. So let me get 5 questions over here.
All right.
So the first one is, if you're going on a long trip, would you rather fly or drive?
If it's a long trip, I think I'd rather drive, because at least I know I can get too tired. I can always stop somewhere. Or like I said, if if there's a nice hotel somewhere, or knowing how, depending on how long. Now, if it's over 4 hours, I can probably handle it. Anything over that or 7 to 8, I'm gonna pull somewhere. I got the rest.
Okay. Yeah, I need you to pull your camera down a little bit. We can only see go right there. There you go. That's it.
Let me say it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. The people see what you got. There you go. All right. So the next one is well, I ain't gonna ask you that one because you're married, so that don't make no sense. Okay. What's your favorite season?
My favorite is Christmas season. Always is. It's one of the, well, it's a really tie between Thanksgiving, but I love Christmas. It's just something about that, getting with families and spending time with the loved ones and everything. But like I said, this year has been a trial and error with it, but that's one of my favorites.
All right, cool. All right, and then what's your favorite music?
Gospel is my first love. I always have and always will be. And love my R&B and I love my jazz. Those really my 3 right in the head.
All right, cool. And so do you prefer coffee, tea, or cocoa?
I love my coffee still, but I only have like 1 cup a day, and that's it.
All right. And last but not least, what was your best and what was your worst job?
Oh man, my best job was when I was working with the JUV detention. Working with those kids, that I think I enjoyed that the most out of all.
Okay.
My worst job, oh my God, had to be when I was working at KFC. The worst.
KFC, man, all the free chicken you want, and that's your worst job.
Hey, back then they had them little old cages, and you try to put it in this pressure cooker, and this oil and grease popping everywhere. Brother, that was worse. And then you got to go in this little freezer and chop this chicken up to a certain point. By the time you come out there, man, your body frozen.
All right. So now it's time to get to the nitty gritty, my brother. All right.
All right.
As I ask everybody, so when did you first get saved? But then when did you really first taking the word serious?
Let's see. I accepted Christ at 9, and I think it really hit me when I turned 18. That's when it finally hit for me, because when I was overseas in the military at that time, and you know, people as we get there, you're in a new area, people are always not pleasant and all that. But it made me think about what my mom said: the same God that was here in law when you left, the same God is right there.
Okay.
And I started learning to trust in it, and hey, he brought me through a lot.
Okay. All right. So as I also say, so now here you saying you got saved at 9 and you start to get serious at 18. So at 9, you know, you 9, you don't really understand what's going on.
Right.
And now, then you said at 18, you took it serious. Now, a lot of people that I speak to, that's when they start getting saved at that point, but they don't usually take it serious until like in the 20s or 30s. So at 18, what made you take the word so serious being that young?
Well, I think when I got out and when I was stationed in the military and got there, and I remember my godfather always told me, you're gonna see some things that sometimes you're gonna be able to understand. And he said, hey, you're young, there's some things that's gonna happen. And as how we say it, of learning of experience, that's when I learned then, because I used to say that people can be all kind everywhere, almost everywhere. Everybody's really kind, but I found out that everybody's not the same. It's nothing like the old saying go, it ain't nothing like home. So I learned. I said that self. I said, Mom said, remember what was be still doing. If you don't have something, find yourself a church home, get into something, keep yourself busy, and always just keep praying. And that's something that I had to start doing, because as the military goes on, we went overseas, and there's some times, man, I just tell my mind whether we're gonna make it back or not. So, that's what really got me. When I got through that time, I said, Lord, if you get me through this, I promise you, I won't be on this water no more. And sure enough, it came true. I had to take it serious.
All right. So now 18, that's a young man. There's a lot of temptation and stuff going on out there. So did you you stay true to your walk, or what did you do some Michael Jackson moonwalking, or what's going on?
Hey. Yeah, it was like you say, a turn in between, because this first part of it, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can hang with both. But when you realize it at a young age, you think you do these things to try to blend in it, but then also you have those that wanted to, or I tried to accept it as a friend, but I had to break it all down, and then had to realize, hey, I got to get serious about this, because I had to realize when my partners got killed, I said, oh, wow, and I think about all the situations we had been in before I did that. Something really could have happened to me. And that's when I had to start taking it kind of serious, because I remember when I came back home from that, how when you first leave, you're so excited, because you be like, yeah, I'm 18 now, I'm grown, man, I get to do what I want to do, and got to see everything in a different light. And when you come back home and you look at everybody, everything was different. There were a lot of times when I came back home, oh man, let's go out. I would, but then after a while, one time I got in and I had to ask myself, I think that was 21 then, and I said, why am I here? I had asked myself, what am I sitting in here doing? What am I missing from this? And the answer was nothing, because I felt so, how you said, out of place. Different stuff just wasn't the same no more. The feeling I had when I used to be out in the club and stuff, back then, that was cool. But I said, do I miss my eyes burning all night long and smelling like cigarette smoke? Do I miss trying to talk to somebody knowing? And I never understood, how could they ever hear me in the middle of the night at the club with the music so loud and you trying to talk to somebody? It just didn't make sense. So, it was just a complete change. That made me change and see things with a whole new perspective on it.
Okay. So now, like I said, so that was you holding yourself accountable. So at that same time, like I said, now, I know also being young, being in the military, being overseas,
yes,
all these different clubs, all these different women. So I know so you just talked about holding yourself accountable for, you noticing, okay, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Now, other guys in the military, just like anywhere else, when they find out, okay, where you are saved or you a church boy, how often did they try to pull you into, no, come on, man, go to the club, wait, come on, man.
Oh yeah, a lot of, especially like the first that first year after the military, when I was in the military. Oh man, what you doing? I said, it's Friday. And he said, oh man, the club kicking. Like, well, sir, I got stuff I got to do, man. I said, I already promised my guy I'm going to. Man, wait, forget about him. You got plenty of time. I said, no, I'm gonna go because I tried to keep that promise. There's a lot of times you a square. You ain't about nothing. You look at you, man. We sit here getting finna go have here. You finna go up to a church. I said, hey, that's what I felt at that time. Like, and plus, I know how I was when my mind was made up. It was made up. You couldn't persuade me one way or the other. Like my mom said, you got to live for you. She said, you know this yourself. You won't know until you get out there in that world. She said, and you're going to see things differently. She said, but like she said, it's your choice. And then something my grandfather, well, not my grandfather, but my godfather always told me, the choices you make in your life determine your choice. Behind your fate, every choice is a consequence. So when I got to seeing some of the stuff out there, and I remember sometimes when I went, and then how you get that feeling that you feel. Mom always said, if you get somewhere and you feel like something ain't right, it's time to move. And so after a couple of those times, hey, it didn't take much because back then, in the military, how I was being that they could spot you a mile away from walking, talking, haircut, and all. Mm-hmm. So, the temptation was always there. I tell them, I don't care where you turn. It was always something, but you just had to learn. And, after like mom said, if you burnt your hand once out there, not to put your hand back on that stove again. Because, those same troubles easy to get into, and it's truly hard to get out of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, hey, man, I have to commend you because, hey, I know I was in the military at that 18, 19 and on up. And like you said, and being over in the different countries and all the stuff that goes on and what happens, it's right. I mean, I wasn't saved anyway. So, I could just imagine somebody going to church and being saved and people kind of drag you into doing, especially being overseas, because you don't have the same thing, the same getaway. And you just can't drive or fly home like you can when you're in Germany, or Philippines, or wherever the case you may be. So I commend you for holding on to that. So now, when did you finally get married?
I got married in 97.
97? Okay.
Because I came back home in 90, and when I was in Virginia there, I never really, because back at that time, and being in station in Virginia, it was a skin complexion back then. Mm-hmm. If you were light skinned brother, hey, girls was tearing their walls up. If you were dark like me, it was a long day. Just a long day. They always, it seemed like they would run them. So I said I wanted somebody that's going to want me for me. And when I came home, I thought I was going to find it there. And I tried and had one I thought that was going to be the one with me that I was having a child with, but that didn't hold true. And after that, losing my daughter in 97, that really made me change my whole perspective. Then I said, I told mom, I said, well, I kept having these dreams about me leaving, but I said to myself, I don't want to leave long. But mom said, that was God letting me know it's time for you to move. Because, when you get to like the military, you say, when you get in the standstill and you keep looking around and everything, look up and everything is still just the same. Nothing's changed. And that's the way I looked at it when I was locked. Nothing has changed. It's still the same process. It's still the same thing every day, in and out. And I came up here to Denton. And at that time, I seen her at church. I didn't know who she was, but I was going to make sure I tried to find her. And I finally got to talk to him. And, for a while there, I didn't think it was going to happen, but somehow around the light came in, and next thing I know, I got married and been that way ever since, man. Okay. But like I said, and the good part about all that was when I was at driver's license, because, then I was here and I was like, man, I wish I could have seen somebody. And that's when I tell everybody, couldn't nobody tell me it was God, because when you came through that door and I'm sitting that driver license, boy, you talking about, that feeling like you're like, man, this is home. I know this, brother. This is home. It's like, oh, that'll work.
All right, so I'm listening to your conversation and I heard something there, but let me see.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Can you still hear me? Okay, I'm gonna let you adjust your camera and get it set so that way you don't have to hold it and be juggling and stuff. I don't want I got a weak stomach. I'll mess around and get seasick just watching you move that camera around real quick. I don't have no seasick. All right. So now I heard you say the woman that you thought you was gonna be with, and this is the one you had a baby by?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like I said, so you did do a little moonwalking right then. So you got somebody pregnant. You got somebody pregnant that you weren't married.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna have marriage in mind, but it was the thing when we finally talked and I asked about it, and they said they was in love with me, but they wasn't in love with me.
Oh, okay. So they love you, but they weren't in love. Huh?
Yeah. So that's the word I got, and I had to accept it. It took me a while, I was depressed behind it, but I had to realize and understand that this is a part of life, and the main thing I was trying to do just go on, be there from a child and move forward. But evidently, like I said, in 97, when we came down here and got to see her for a while, and that's when I got that call that night, and that was like the worst day of my life.
Right. So that was my next question. Now, how old were you when you was messing with the young lady, got her pregnant and everything?
I think I was 31. Yeah,
okay.
I was 31.
Okay. So, all right. So now, like I said, you thought you was getting married, didn't work out for you. Mm-hmm. And so now she's pregnant, but like I said, you still walking your walk. So now, like you said, now here's where I ask you the question. How much did your faith keep you, hold you, carry you through with the passing of your daughter? And how old was she?
She was 4 years old when she got killed. Now that was a true test, because the hurt, well, I can tell about, you still can't explain this. It was the way I wrote it in the poem, it was like there was a dark space in my heart that I couldn't even find the depth, because at the time when it happened, I get here and nobody, we never really found out what happened. And it was, the more I thought about it, and I knew right then, I was being tested, because when you at that point in your life, when something like that happens, Satan knows, and he jumps right in on it. Hey, there ain't nobody, because everybody kept saying, oh, you ought to not be crying. And then I remember snapping at one of my friends, because they said, oh man, you ought to quit all that crying. I know what you've been through, and you know how that do it. I snapped. Mm-hmm. I had to ask him, do you really know what I've been through? Have you lost a child? He said, no. Then how can you, that really got to me. And Mom always said, if you give Satan a crack, boy, he gonna jump in there and take it. Mm-hmm. And it took it to me, because it got me talking crazy, because I said to myself, nobody knows, nobody got the answer. So I decided, I know, I bet you I can give me some answers. I know what to do. I'm gonna go get me a gun. Called myself trying to get out here and find it, and I got all the way down there, and I knew who to find out, because this guy, I don't know if you still remember, the name was Cuckoo. He used to work down there, be on First Street. I got away from Mom and everybody, and I said, when I get down here, I said, I'll get me one. Shoot, I waited till about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was down there, and I seen his car pulling up. I said, let me go on across the street here and do what I got to do. I got a halfway across the street. Before I can get to that other side, there was a blue car that went by, and I knew whose car it was. I said, oh no, that's Bruce. I said, no, he didn't see me. So I pulled back for a minute. Man, I got ready to go across the street. Next thing you know, that car pulled to that curve. And it was him. He was like, no, brother, I can't let you do that, man. I said, you my boy, I can't let you do that. I said, man, I love you too much, bro. He said, come on, man. He said, I heard what, I know what happened. And I just broke down. And that's when, things really got, was there. And then after the funeral,
man, my body just broke down. It started off with my migraines. I had those like 3 months, and then my body just from head on went down. And I know it was just because of the depression about my daughter. And then they had talked to the doctor in Greenland. He told me that told Deborah, we have to do something here. We got to get these migraines stuff, because if they don't, I was probably gonna have an aneurysm. So all I remember was him giving me some kind of pill to take. And he told me, you're not gonna drive, she's gonna drive home. He said, well, when you get home, take this and you know, you're gonna sleep. And sure enough, we got home about 10:30 that morning, man. I took that pill, got in that bed, and when I say I slept, man, I slept. I woke up the next day, but that whole time I kept seeing myself trying to wake up. But the only thing I could see was this stained glass, and I saw this little gold street, and I heard these words, I go away to a prayer place where I'm at, he may be also. And I was still trying to wake up, but I couldn't. Next thing I know, I see this little image come. I couldn't see it, but all of a sudden I could smell this coconut oil. And then when I looked up, it was my daughter. She got on my lap. She touched my face and she said, Daddy, don't cry. She said, I know you miss me. She said, but I see you all the time. I see you all the time. And, you know, back at that time, I had promised myself I wasn't going to sing again after I lost her, because I told Mom I just didn't feel that drive. And she told me, Daddy, promise me something. And I said, name it, baby. She said, Daddy, promise me you'll never stop singing. I said, Daddy, promise. And I was thinking, no, she touched my face. She said, Daddy, I got to go. And I finally woke up, and I remember just crying and crying. And my mom said, well, baby, that was just a confirmation from God to let you know that you have nothing to worry about, because I worried about that so much. You know, right after it happened, I went out there on Mount Scott. I mean, I screamed, fussed at God. I was mad, you know. Lord, why her? She was only 4. But like I said, eventually God answered back, why not her? Because had to realize she was only lent to me for a little time. But through that, that's when it really got a grip to me, because, you know, I looked at that situation. I could have had a pity party for myself. I could have started drinking. I could have probably went on drugs, did anything. Just, you know, but I didn't. God wasn't going to let that happen. And, you know, through all of that, here I was thinking, man, I lost the one thing that meant the world to me, is being a dad. But through all of that, Mom said, you might have lost something, but through this loss, look what you gained. You gained a wife. I mean, I gained somebody that was there with me through the thick and thin. I said, and, you know, that's one thing I've always asked, Lord, let me find somebody that's going to love me for me, you know. And that was the beautiful part about it. She stayed with me through that. I tried to go send her home. She wouldn't. She said, I'm not leaving you. You don't need to be alone right now. And, you know, that's when you know that you got somebody that'll stick with you through the thick and thin, and through the losses I've been through with my brothers, and then my godfather. You know, that's why I said that's when you know the people that you can truly say are friends and family. Because like I said, and also too, if it wasn't for you talking to you, coming around seeing you, man, like I said, you at that time you were about the close. Just I told that that's the closest friend I got up here. Really, when I thought about that time, you were my only friend that I really knew from home. That's that I was around. I said, hey, this can't get no better than this. And through all those, you know, that was my turning point. And I said, if I can make it through this, Lord, there's nothing that I can't do. There's nothing I can't do.
Right.
And then I say that, tell anybody, no matter what it is, as one of my pastors say, we have to trust the process. And I'm telling everybody that's going through it, hey, trust God's process. I know that there's probably a lot of them out there right now that's lost loved ones to this COVID. So I've done it, and you know, we lost friends to this. Some hard situation. And that last one with Kenny, that hit home. That hit home. And like you say, it just makes us realize, man, you think about it. When before that time, everybody was like, I gotta go. I go, well, okay, hey, won't you? No, man, I ain't got time right now. I got so much I gotta do. I don't really have the time to do it. I wish I could. But now you can't say that. You know, we got all the time in the world now. So God had to kind of make us pump the brakes and make us stop and think, okay, you know, this stuff out here is happening now. Now you starting to really use that head and be like, whoa, you know, you look around you, and like you said with medical, we don't know how long are we gonna be here? We don't know what tomorrow lies. We don't even know what tomorrow holds. All we can do is just trust the process.
So let me ask you this. So now, how long was it then with your daughter dying, and then the new little blessing that came into your life?
Oh yeah, we had tried for the longest, and it just didn't happen. And then one girl named Deborah, she had a baby, and she couldn't keep it, and we went to go try to get it, but CPS would let us get that time. But they told us we had talked to the family and told her we wanted to help with that, and if the process came, the main thing we want to see was her get a baby, but it didn't happen. But it was a blessing in that, because the CPS had finally turned around and said, well, we want y'all to raise this baby. Because when we seen her, we fell in love with her right off the bat. And like I said, when we brought her home, we knew then,
right,
this is, like I said, in my life, that completed that part of my chapter of my life, of having another little one in there. And the funny thing about it was, when I took her home, my godmother, my mother seen her, and I had Jennifer's pictures there, and I saw mom looked at her and looked at the baby, and they just started like, what is? And then I didn't realize until I looked at the pictures, I was like, oh my God, man, they look so much alike. But I just said, that's just God showing favor. He knew, God knows how you hurt. God knew how you cried. And you got to think about it. And it made me think, we didn't even think about how God felt when he sent his only son for us. He knows the pain. So I'll just tell them all that, that's what brought me through, having somebody there and then pushing through, then getting a little one again to watch and grow. And now look at it now, she's 16.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Woo, 16 years old. Is the shotgun ready?
No, brother. We advanced to a 350 Magnum. We're gonna be at the door with that shotgun.
We're gonna have to pull a Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, a bad boy scene on when they come to the door.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah. Ask him, how old is brother? You look like you're 35. No.
Right. All right.
Already.
So now my next question is, then, like you said, now with your wife, and I know your wife go to church and everything.
Right.
And now I always like to ask you guys, how did your faith in God, after what you've been through, so how did that help you become a better man and a better husband?
Shoot. The main thing, it taught me to have patience. Because that's one thing I always ask like God to give me patience. Do all this, because before I remember being upset, and after, and it's something like when you lose somebody, I tell people, you don't realize it changes you, man. It really changes a lot of things you go through. And I learned about certain things, because I remember I found myself at the time of the loss was pushing kids away from me, because I didn't want to let no kid. I was afraid to let any kid get close to me, because after that happened. And then when we got her when she was only 4 months old, from all that time, and then when she was close to turning 4, boy, them wheels started rolling. Thinking about it, I was the Lord, please, whatever you do, don't. I couldn't go through this again of losing it, but it made me learn to trust God more. It made me depend on her, and understood that the pain that I felt she was feeling, because I remember her being hurt because she couldn't give me a child that we wanted together. But I told her, this is just like we having a baby. I said, she's ours. And that old saying, you feed them long enough, boy, they start looking just like you. And so that really made me learn to look at life with family. Those are things that complete you and that makes you want to be more of a better parent, because I said, now here it is. I'm gonna have to be a better dad and learn to be honest with my feeling and be honest with her. And then most of all, I ask God to give me that trust that I have, because I know that you give me something special here. But I said, learn to just trust the process and trust with God, because like I said, like you said, it hasn't all been crystal stairs. It's been some bumps in them roads, and I've had some experiences after that. But like I said, I made it. I'm still here.
So I know you and your wife, man, y'all been through a lot of stuff together with accidents and everything else that went on and
Man.
surgeries and everything. So I guess I haven't asked anybody this question. So how has your wife's faith helped you through the marriage?
Man, when I got hit by that drunk driver in 08, you know, being a provider, supposed to be the man of the house, take care of home. Here it is. I get this, and doctors told me you're needing that total hip placement. And I kind of looked at him. I said, okay, so maybe we can get through that. Since now, what if I don't? He said, it's simple. You will be crippled. And once I got it done, I said, well, I'll probably get this ready. I'll be ready to go back to work. And they just had to tell me, you can no longer do that work that you used to do at JUV, because if you had to ever restrain somebody, you can always pop your hip out. And told me, you know, you can't lift the weights like you used to anymore. You can't do that. So here it is. I had to go on disability for a while. And to me, at that point in time, that was a low for me, because, man, I felt like, man, it kind of bothered me. Here it is. She's getting up, going to work, and here I'm at home. But through all that, I had to look back and realize, hey, you're doing a job. She instilled him. She said, you're still getting disability. We're still, God's still providing. She said, and what makes me feel good that I don't have to put her in no daycare, because I know she's at home with you, and I know that she's going to be taken care of. That's the key. And that's what, you know, kind of made me feel a little bit better about myself. And I had to realize that. And that's what, you know, made me grow stronger, because, you know, the one thing I feel like, man, I still need to provide. But as time goes on, you know, whether we realize not, God was making it all the way all along. Just like you say, when we was trying to figure it out, God had already worked it out. Just had to just trust that. And as the process grew, that trust was there. Even now, you know, I still do light work, but I do healthcare because that's something I enjoy doing. And like everybody said, how can you do that now, knowing that this COVID is out here? Like I tell everybody, my trust is in God. It's not, I have to, and I always protect myself when I go. But I got to think about this with these people in the healthcare. You got to realize we're not no spring chickens anymore.
You're right.
One day it's gonna be us, and you know, we don't know where we're gonna be or what life's gonna hold for that. Only thing we can hope and do and pray that God will give us the strength to be able to still keep going on. And I know for a doubt, if something goes wrong, I know my child and shit already still told us that, Daddy, you and Mom ain't gonna never worry about that. I'll be there to take care of you regardless. And I was like, wow, no, baby, but you need to live your life. I said, because we don't know how long we're gonna be here. We don't. I know next week will be 59 for me, knocking on that 60. So it's something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right. Well, let's get into a little bit of lighter stuff, man. We don't want nobody to be all crying and getting down on us stuff.
Oh no. We too happy about that. That's just a part I can get through now, and I feel good about it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
See which way I want to do this. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way right there. So tell me about this young man right there, and what is he trying to do there?
Which one? Me? This one is trying right now. I'm just still pushing on my music. That's my goal, is to touch someone's heart with that and encourage people and to keep doing my music, because that's my drive and that's my passion. Because I truly believe that's what God gave me to do, because I asked that years ago. And when I thought it wouldn't, he put it right back there. It seemed like anytime I thought it wouldn't, I'd go another way. It was still right there. And there's something, you know, you have to believe in. And I believe that process, because just my music is my life. That's what he's given me to do. And I'll tell everybody, you know, whatever, you know, you just have to, if you truly trust God, he'll lead you and guide you in the way that you need to go. You just have to trust him.
Right. And yeah, and what kills me, man, because like you said, this COVID, COVID did put a little damper on some things.
Put some serious in there.
Yeah, because I was sure enough looking forward to this year to go out and do some things and make some things happen, but that kind of shut down quick, like. So we're gonna have to come up with probably one of these virtual things and put that together.
Yeah.
That way, by the time this stuff, if these vaccines and everything work and do what they're supposed to do, hopefully you know, before the fall comes, we should be able to do something out and about again, hopefully.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping and praying, man.
Yeah, but if not, then we just might have to do some virtual stuff just to make sure people still know who the Sir Journey is of this journey, and make it plain and make it known.
We gotta keep letting it be known, because hey, it's a drive, and like I said, just like we said before, we really had to pump some brakes, because I had to pass on some opportunities to go do something, and I'm like, man, passed out too. I was supposed to sing in Austin at that time, then I was supposed to sing in Colorado. I had to turn all those down, because it's like, no, you know, that's why you say you when something like this is happening, you got to think, hey, it's not just me. I got to think about my family when I come home, because that's the one thing you don't want to do, is to go somewhere. And then that's the scary part about it, because like I said, you can be a carrier and don't even know it.
Right.
And that's my always thought, man, if I was to come home, go somewhere and do something like this, and then all of a sudden get sick, give it to them, I'd never forget myself, because it's no joke. I mean, we just lost my pastor in Lawton to the COVID. Him and his wife both were in the hospital with it. She made it out, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to think about, man. It's like I said, we got to take this thing serious, and you know, it's like you said, it's the little things we got to remember to do. Wash your hands, keep your distance wherever you go. Put on that mask, because you know, even now it's still amazement. You see people that won't wear that mask,
Right.
or keep saying the same crazy stuff. This stuff ain't real. If it's not, then what's this on TV? This is not a drama show.
Exactly. But yeah, man, we definitely gonna have to put something together so we can let everybody know what's going on with the vocals and what's happening. And once again, like I said, I've been knowing you since high school.
I'm telling you.
Just to clear the air for folks, we're not from Oklahoma. We our dads was in the military. We just ended up being in Oklahoma. I was just there for my senior year and 1 year of college. What was you there for?
Oh man, I came in 71.
Oh, you've been for a long time then.
Yeah, I was there for a while. I was 9 years old when we came here from New York. So
yeah. You've been there a long time. So yeah, you can call that home. I ain't calling that home. I'm from Texas.
Well, like I told you, I got a mixture. I got dad and well, like I said, that's where I was born at. But you might well say grew up in Oklahoma most of the time there. So, and I still got my mom, my godmother there, and I still, still got family there. So it's still part of home.
Right.
But
well, yeah, man. Well, man, I appreciate you jumping on with me.
Oh man, anytime, bro. You know the deal is just.
And this was right on time, because like you said, with my other guests, they've been through some things, but with people actually dying because of this COVID, then, with your daughter, passing on you like that, you have that knowledge and that feeling of that missing of a loved one that, I can only imagine it because of my mother, but my mother is still different from a child. I didn't expect my mother to die at that time of cancer, but she's older than me, so you kind of expect your parents to die for you. But with a child, that's a whole nother story.
Because you think about it, we at that age you expect she would have been 28 this year, because her birthday was January the 5th. At that time, my goals and dreams were looking at her. We could go on to college, someday find some person that she loved and get married and having a child, and all that. Those are things. But really, the hardest thing of it all is not knowing who killed my daughter. But it's not for me; it's for God. God knows, and that was the hardest part of that whole situation, not knowing what really happened. Wishing I could find it, but like I say, things happen for a reason that we can't understand. But like I tell them, God knows, and that's what keeps me going.
And so just to kind of close it out, what I want people to understand, number one, and I'm glad you didn't say it, but when we at Love Sync, that's the whole thing, because the scripture says God is love. If someone loves you, they don't do anything purposely to harm you or hurt you or cause you any pain. So, I've heard people in churches and pastors and other people say, well, God took your child. and that's a lie. God did not take your child. Why would God bless you with a child just at 4 years to take them from you? If that's the way God is, then I don't want to serve that God that's going to be that cruel to give you something to love and then take it away from you. That's like a psychopath. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people need to understand things happen on this earth. Like the word says, it rains on the just and the unjust. So things happen to us all. But God loves us enough that he equips us enough, whether it's just not the word in us or it could be the word in somebody else or family members, and to strengthen you and to hold you through that time,
right?
As the footprints in the sand poem goes.
Right.
So understand that God is not taking loved ones in COVID. This is something that happened, but you're supposed to be loving God enough and know that he loves you enough that you can get through this also if you just lean on him. Go ahead.
And I was just telling people, even with that happening, this is a part. It's you gotta understand. We all have that feeling. We hate to see our little one go. It's the human side of us. The human side wants our family to be here forever. But in the Christian sense, we have to look at it that God said he went away to prepare a place for us. He didn't mean for us. We're not gonna be on this earth all the time.
Right.
And like I said, through our life cycle, we look through. We've seen some people that we know were close to us come and go. Right. This last year really opened up a lot of losses that we just didn't see coming.
Right.
But like I said, this is just a life cycle that's going around, because we got to realize we're not going to live forever. One day it's going to be me. One day it's going to be you. We just don't know when or where.
Right.
But the main thing we need to do now is, like I said, if you around the people that you know and love, hey, let them know that you love them. Because, love is a word that's used so fluently. And right now is a time where people, take life for granted, because we don't think about it. The people, just those words, sometimes some people want to hear that, because with people being enclosed and can't get out, some people will feel like there's nobody that don't care nothing about them. And you'll be amazed what a phone call, just checking us for, hey, man, how are you doing? Or, hey, sis, just checking on you, just want to see how you going. How's it going?
Exactly. And when you don't, like, again, in all you're getting, get an understanding. That's why the scriptures say God is love. So when I say I love you, if God is love, I'm saying I got you, because God loves you. So I love you the way God loves you. So when I say love, that's what I'm saying. The cliche that everybody just, before they hang on the phone, hey, love you. Hey, how you? Love you. They're giving you the Google version of love, which is the strong feeling, affection, and emotion of someone or something. So long as it's an emotion, a feeling, or affection, and those are temporal things, that's why their love is temporal for you. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not God. You see what I'm saying? So when I got you, when I love you, I got you. When they love you, it's that strong feeling of affection or emotion, and that's why love you today, hate you tomorrow type thing.
Oh yeah, because you go through those things, but yeah, like I tell people, true love. True love is when somebody, no matter what you're going through, they ain't gonna sit there and not be around you, but there's some that just go in there and say, hey, man, you all right? If you need me, man, I'm here. Or they'll come to you and say, hey, man, I got you. Don't worry about this. Got you, man. We're gonna get through this.
Because love is not, as one of the sayings of love, it says love is not selfish or self-seeking. So love is always thinking about the other person, not about itself. Because if you know God loves you and God has your back, where you don't even see, that's what we're missing. Everybody's always looking for something for themselves. You know that God has you and God has your back because he loves you so much. So if you know that, then why are you worried about you? If God got you, you don't have to worry about you. That's why you can show God to everybody else, because you know God got you. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we have to remember. As long as we know God got us, then we don't have to walk in fear. We don't have to stress. We don't have to do anything, because the gods of God has your back. There's nothing to be ashamed of, scared of, fearful of, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So man, hey, you always gonna make me mess around and sing something, bro. You gonna mess around? You know I can't hold a note. I sound like Alfalfa from the Rascals.
But like you said, it's true fact. And then Steve Harvey said something. He said, if you carrying a basket and looking for positive things, you can't put positive things in negative stuff. Check your basket out.
Right.
Check out what you carry in your bag. You can't carry negative. That means you got to trust God and trust that these things are going to happen. Trust it and walk in that faith in your mind. You can't think on the negative. Just like our trust is like me and your trust. Just like I'm saying, well, me and Griff trust God enough to where we're going to get out here and walk on this water. And God going to put it in faith that we're going to get across there and then nothing going to harm us. See, that's that crazy thing. But we know God gave us 5 senses. To you think we ain't gonna go across this water, knowing that these sharks and stuff are looking at us saying, "Oh yeah, come on across the water if you want to. You ain't gonna make it there." So we know the sense. It's just giving us the sense to say, "Hey, no, we do trust it, and we use our senses that God gave us." Like I said, God gave me the sense to know, hey, this stuff is out here. Don't mean go against the grain and try to walk out here without putting on this mask and stuff like that. We gotta use that common sense. Hey. It's not about you think about, you got to think about others too. And you got to think about, wow, and I think about it every time I go to work. And then when I get there and I look at some of the people that they have been quarantined, they can't get to nobody. And, that's something. And then what I've seen in the hospitals, man, it's something.
Right, exactly.
It's something.
Well, man, I got to go because my wife texted me telling me I'm ready to go eat. So you know what I got to go do.
I know the deal, bro.
Go feed some people. You know what I'm saying?
I
But hey,
know
brother,
that.
man, I appreciate you jumping on with me. Like I said,
man,
we're going to figure out something to get the voice over here and get it out there so everybody can still know is the man. Sir Journey is still singing, and we're going to let them know what is up. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one last time for my friend, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lester. He calls himself Sir Journey Newsom.
Hey. All right, man. You take care of yourself, bro.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, that was Mr. Lester Newsom, a.k.a. Sir Journey, the gospel singer, taking it home with you. We're going to put his voice out there so y'all can hear him, so y'all won't forget about him, because, we have him at some of the Love Sync meetings, and y'all hear him sing and be like, hey, man, we got to get that brother out there some more, so we got to do something out here. So y'all remember, hey, Facebook, comment, like, share, and all that good stuff. YouTube, do the same thing, but make sure that you also subscribe. I want you to subscribe, put your YouTube on public so I can see your name. So once we get to that 100th subscriber, that person will get $100. And anybody from 1 through 99, once we run it through the random thing, and if it picks your name or your number, you get $100. So make sure you guys do that. Until then, this is Brother Darrell McGriff, Love Sync Ministry. This has been Love Sessions, and you know what we say, walk in love. And why do we ask you to do that? Because you might be the only love that anybody sees sometimes their whole life. So let me go see my wife and get up out of here. Y'all take care, and then we'll see